Hello team, welcome back. And today we will see that how we can build the AI web assistant. This AI web assistant will work with the LangChain and it will use the Gradio and the LangGraph together. So let's switch to the Visual Studio Code. And in the previous lecture, we have seen up to this particular point. We have seen that what all tools are being used by the toolkit of the playwright. I will clear out all the console and I will start building up a new code block. And in this new code block, let's suppose we are adding this particular heading that we are building an AI web assistant with the help of the LangGraph plus Playwright plus Memory Saver and the Gradio. So this is the use case what we are going to serve today. So let's add a code base and we will add the multiple steps in this code base to build this particular agent. So very first what we will do, we will import this statement or let's copy both of these lines. After this what we will do, let's import these two statements. Correct? We have seen all of these things earlier and let's copy this up to the tools. Correct? So what we are doing, we are creating a async browser object which is using a headless false. It means a headful mode, and then we are creating a toolkit and then we are getting the tools from that particular toolkit. This is the first step we got. Then what we need to do, let's define the state. We are going to define the state of my LangChain. So we are defining a state like this. Class state, we are using a type dict and we are using messages annotated list add messages. We need to import the type dict and we need to import the add messages. So what we are doing, we are adding 4 more import statement. From typing, we are importing the annotated. From the typing extension, we are importing the type dict. From the langgraph.graph, we are importing the state graph and the start. And from the langgraph graph messages, we are importing the add messages. After this, what we need to do, initialize graph. So we will initialize the graph builder. So we are initializing the graph builder like state graph, right? We are creating the object of the state graph and defining the state, whatever the state we have cleared over here. Let's execute this. And up to this particular point, we don't have any compilation error. Now let's do one thing. Let's execute this statement so that we will get the method name. And over here, what we will do, we will start using the playwright. So what we are doing, we are going to execute a couple of statements with the playwright browser toolkit. So very first, let's create a dictionary of the tools. So we are using the tool.name for a tool in the tools, correct? This way we are creating a dictionary of my tool. If you want to print it, you can print the tool dict.keys or let's print the tool dict. Execute this. And over here you are getting the tool dictionary that we have the click element. Then we have, or let's put tool.keys. Execute this. So it will print all the keys. So we have the click element, navigate browser, previous web page, extract text, extract hyperlink, get elements, and the current underscore. So all these methods, all these keys, you see, these are all these keys. And we are going to use these tools to work further with the playwright. Correct? Let me remove it and work further with the playwright. So very first, let's suppose we are creating a navigator tool, right? Navigate underscore tool. We are using the tool underscore dict to get the navigate underscore browser. You see, navigate underscore browser is a function which will be used for what? To navigate a specified URL. Navigate browser is being used to navigate a specific URL. Then similarly, we will create the another tool. Let's suppose we are creating one for the extract the text. So let's create one for extract the text. So we have created the two object. One is the navigate tool and another one is the extract text tool. Correct? One is navigating the browser, another one is extracting the text. Now let's use them. Let's use both of them. How we can use them? Let's define a wait, navigate underscore tool run, and let's suppose we are not going to use this URL. Over here, what we will define a key value pair to this function. And here you need to define a dictionary. In the dictionary, you need to define the URL and the URL. Correct? Let me check. This is a auto suggested URL if that URL persists. Yes, that is a valid URL. Or let's open some news website. BBC News. Right, so over here we are getting the BBC News. Let's copy this URL and put the BBC News URL over here. Correct. Put the BBC News URL over here. Next, what I need to do, let's suppose I want to extract the text from the homepage of the bbc.com. How we can do that? Simple, you can execute a function like this. Text equals to await extract text tool error, and then we are not providing anything. Now let's suppose we want to print the text. So let's print this particular text. Let's execute it. And you see it will open the bbc.com in your browser. Once the page will load, if you will go back to your Visual Studio Code, this particular function is getting an error. Over here in this particular function, you are getting error extract tool dot error. What is the error? We are getting an error like couldn't find tree builder with the feature you are requested. Okay. LXML, do you need to install parser library? It is asking to install the parser library. That's fine. Let me open the text editor. And over here, this is the error. Couldn't find the tree builder. Do you want to install the parser library? This is the response you are getting. Okay. Let me try to fix this. So to resolve this error, let's open your terminal and execute uv add LXML. What is the package you are getting in the error? Let's add that particular package. You see the package is being installed. After installing the package, let's execute it again. So I will execute this again. You see it is opening the BBC. And over here you see you are getting the extracted text. It means it is able to extract the text from the BBC. If you want to format it in a better way, let me show you. Let's remove this and import one package. Import text wrap. And then we will use a print text wrap dot fill and text. And then pass your text. Right? Let's suppose we are passing the text with the width 100. I will execute it again. It will open the BBC and let's wait, and you see you are getting your complete text over here. Open in the text editor, you are getting the complete text available on your web page, on the BBC web page. So by this way, you are able to extract the text from your web page. As of now, we are not using any kind of AI model. We are not using the LLM. We are just simply extracting the text from a web page. Now let's start using the LLM model. So we will start using the LLM model. So what we will do, we will initialize the LLM. Let's suppose we are calling LLM equals to chat OpenAI model GPT-4o mini. But we also need to import the chat OpenAI. Right, so let's import the chat OpenAI. So from LangChain underscore OpenAI, we have imported the chat OpenAI. After importing the chat OpenAI, what we need to do? We will bind the tools with my LLM. So LLM dot bind tools, and we need to bind our tools. What is my tools? Tools we created over here. Correct. So we are binding the same tools over here. Let's do one thing. Let's comment out this section as of now and execute it. You see there is no compilation error. This code I just mentioned over here to show you that how you can extract the text or you can interact with a particular web page using the playwright. Let's uncomment this and do one thing. Instead of the headless, let's mention true. Instead of the false, let's mention headless true. Execute this code again. You see this will not open any browser. And you are getting your result without opening the browser. How? Because it is not opening the browser, but ultimately it is interacting with your website. It is downloading all the data from the website as a web page, getting all the CSS, HTML, and then working on that particular element. So this is a headless mode. Let's suppose we are going to keep it false for the time, right? And I also keep this commented. So we initialize the LLM model. Let me clear out the output. After this, what we need to do? After this, we will define node. And we are defining a function in the node chatbot, which is using a state which you have defined. And I am invoking my LLM model over here with the state messages. Once you have defined the node, and you need to define the edges. So add nodes and edges. So we are initializing the graph. Then we are adding a node chatbot, right? in the chatbot we are adding our node. Then we are adding a node as a tools, right? Over here we are supplying our tools we created over here from the toolkit. Then we are saying that add conditional edges, chatbot, tools condition, and the tools. We have already learned about it. Then we are making a edge from tools to chatbot, and then we are making an edge from start to chatbot. So we have added the nodes, correct? And we have added the conditions. After this, what we need to do? After this, you need to compile the graph. And how we can compile the graph? Using the graph builder compile checkpoint equals to memory. If you want, you can use the memory, or if you want, you can avoid the uses of the memory. Let's suppose we are using the memory. If you are using the memory, then you need to create a memory saver and you need to import the memory saver. So let's import the memory saver from the previous lecture. So this is the package, correct? So I will import the memory saver over here. This is something which we have already created and we initializing our graph. Over here you see we are not using any playwright native concept. If I will execute it, it is compiling perfectly fine. Now I will add a Gradio chat. And over here I'm not defining any kind of website. I'm just using the playwright browser toolkit with a headless false, and then we are making some changes. And then we are purely working with the LLM model, right? And the LangGraph model. Let's add a Gradio. So I'm initializing the Gradio, import Gradio as a GR. Then this is the common code we have seen multiple times. This is async and then the chat interface. We are defining a thread ID 1. Let's start your agent. So you see it will start your agent. Which agent? The graph, right? And over here you can start your chat. You can tell me, hey, tell me the latest news from CNN. Hit enter. Then you see it is opening the web browser. In the web browser, it is opening the CNN website. If you will go to your chatbot, it is still working. It is still working. So it is extracting the data from this particular web page. And it will start in progress until unless this web page will load completely fine. Until unless this web page load will not done, you will not get the output over here. So you have to wait. So you have to wait till this complete web page will load. And this complete web page may took several minutes to load completely because a lot of image is being loaded as a part of this particular web page. A lot of JavaScript jQuery is also loading with this particular web page. So the execution or the complete, so the execution and the loading of this particular web page may vary and it may go up to several minutes. So let's wait. Right, and over here you see you are getting these are the latest news. Here are some latest news highlighted from the CNN. US strike on drug boat, Siberia protest, Russia strike on Ukrainian government building. You see, Russia strikes on Ukrainian government building. You are getting this here. US strike on what? US strike on drug boat. Maybe this is the news somewhere. Yes, you see, very first news. US strike on drug boat. Siberia protest. Where is China headed? Right? Maybe. Trump's preparations. You are getting the Trump's preparations. Right? Trump's preparing to travel to South Korea next month. Maybe you will get the similar details over here. So basically what you are doing a web scraping. On the similar fashion, this complete request may took some time, correct? On the similar fashion, let's do one thing. Let's keep it headless. Keep it true. Execute it again. Execute this again. And then try to ask the same thing. Hey, tell me latest news from CNN. Hit enter. And let's wait for the complete processing. So earlier I believe it took almost 50 seconds. Let's wait how long it will take, and you see it is not opening any browser. Why? Because I have choose the headless browser, correct? But it will load the complete web data on your machine in the stateless mode, in the headless mode, and then it will process your request. And now you see you are getting the data. And this is almost the similar data. Ukraine-Russia conflict, South Korea workers, mass shooting in the US, Japan political changes, health matters, other top stories, right? And for more details, it is asking to visit the CNN website. If let's suppose we are going again with the false, right, executing my code again, and we are asking, hello, what is the page title of Facebook homepage? Hit enter. You see it will open the Facebook homepage, right? And then it will show you the title from the Facebook homepage. If you will scroll down, scroll up, you see the page title from the Facebook homepage is Facebook login or spin up. That's really nice. Give me the word index summary from money control. Hit enter. You see it will execute your query and hopefully it will open the money control website. If it is not opening the money control website, then it is fetching the things internally. Your LLM model is fetching the things internally directly from the money control. And you see basically it is opening the money control, right? It has opened the money control. And now over here you are getting, it seems I'm unable to retrieve the word index summary from the money control web page directly. However, you can visit this particular website. So you can interact with any website. You can interact with any website. You can tell me, hello, give me the placeholder text of Google homepage. Google search homepage. Hit enter. It will open the Google website. You see, Google is being opened over here. If you will go to your uh, Visual Studio Code, over here you see it is over here you see it appears that I was unable to retrieve the placeholder text directly from the Google search homepage. However, typically the placeholder text in the Google search page is search Google or type a URL. So you are able to interact with your website using the LLM. Correct. As soon as you will keep a headless browser, it will be false, it will be true. It will interact all the websites in a headless mode. It will not open the browser. But as of now, you see there is a problem that it is opening the browser, but it is not closing the browser once done. So in the upcoming lecture, we will also address this particular problem. But right now you can understand, but right now you can see that my LLM model is able to interact with the website, with the dynamic website live. So whatever the data you are getting on the website, you can read that particular data live on your terminal using the chat using a AI agent. So team, that's all for the day. In the upcoming lecture, we will see a few more interesting things. Thank you team. See you next time.